guys, Dr. Will here from Miami Spine and Performance. Today I'm going to do a special video for you guys. I'm going to talk about dynamic neuromuscular stabilization, DNS. So for those of you that have seen my YouTube channel before, you've seen little bits and pieces of these DNS exercises and positions, and certainly if you're a patient of mine, you've been exposed to DNS. But I've been getting a lot of new patients and a lot of interest from the community thanks to Dr. Peter Attia's book and the work he's done with Michael Rentala and DNS. So I wanted to put a video out for you guys kind of explaining what DNS is, because a lot of people that are calling my office and they're excited about DNS, they're not really sure what it is, right? They know that it's kind of a style of training, and they know that it helps the body move better, and they know there's something to do with babies. So I want to give you guys just a short video to kind of explain what DNS is and how I use DNS in my practice here at Miami Spine and Performance. So dynamic neuromuscular stabilization is based on what's called developmental kinesiology, okay? And don't let that word overwhelm you. I know it's a lot of letters, but basically what that means is it's based on the way that we move as a baby, specifically between 3 months and 13 months, right? So from the time we kind of first pop our head up until we're actually standing, that's kind of the developmental sequence that we go through, right? And as the baby kind of pops their head up, starts to turn, starts to roll, starts to crawl, goes from crawling to kind of half standing and then all the way up to standing, that's really when the brain and the body are learning how to move and coordinate muscles, right? If you just look at an anatomy book, you'll see, okay, the pec does this, the lat does this, the abdominis does this, but really our muscles work together to form movement patterns, right? So if I go and I touch the corner of that table, I'm using a whole bunch of muscles together. And there has to be a motor program in my brain that's showing me how to do that so that I'm able to hit my target consistently every time, right? And that's based upon developmental kinesiology. The way that I learned initially how to coordinate my muscles together and how to develop good posture and how to breathe properly occurred when I was an infant. So the idea behind DNS is that as time goes on through our lives, whether you're 15 years old, whether you're 35, whether you're 65, eventually these kind of perfect movement patterns and perfectly even muscle tone and ideal breathing and ideal posture starts to fade away as different life stresses come at us, right? We're in a society where we're on our phone all the time. Stress is very high. Sleep is low. Hydration is low. Diet is poor. Work is sedentary. Sometimes, at this point, half the country is basically sedentary, right? Meaning they're not doing much exercise. They're certainly not stretching, mobilizing, strengthening the things that they should be. Now, I know that you guys watching this video probably are not part of that group. You guys are probably the ones that are very active and you're trying to optimize your movement. That's why you're reading Dr. Attia's book, and that's why you're interested in DNS. So for you guys, more so what happens is we do CrossFit, we do weightlifting, we play basketball, we play tennis, we dance. And all those different activities put different stresses on the body that cause imbalance, okay? So what we do with DNS and what I do as a certified practitioner is I put people through these developmental sequences again as adults, right? So you can see here, there's a baby in 3 months, and then there's an adult woman in 3 months. And so we actually use those positions to reteach the body how to move optimally. And that starts with good breathing. So those of you that have done DNS with me, we start with proper respiration. If we're not breathing properly, we're not breathing through our abdomen, we're not going to be able to create the environment for optimal movement. Once the breath is good and the breathing is good, then we start to take you through the positions. Now, what this does is it's different from, let's say, training the rotator cuff by doing a banded rotator cuff exercise. There's nothing wrong with doing an exercise like that, but sometimes for people, we need to actually put them back into the developmental position so the body can learn how to use the rotator cuff the way that it learned years ago. In all of our brains, the motor program is there to move optimally. We just have to kind of jiggle the key a little bit so we can actually unlock it. And in my experience, DNS is one of the best ways to unlock that optimal movement pattern that's within all of us. The great thing about DNS is it can be used in complement with chiropractic adjusting. It can be used in complement with soft tissue therapy. It can be used to complement a regular weightlifting routine, right? This isn't to say you should stop what you're doing and only do DNS. DNS is meant to complement all these other things. So for patients that come into my office, typically they'll come in with, maybe they have some shoulder pain, maybe they have a back issue. So I'll actually hand select the positions that I'll use with them and the way that we move through the position in order to strengthen that specific joint. So in summary, what we do with DNS is we use these developmental positions to help you breathe optimally, help reinforce optimal posture, normalize muscle tone, and improve movement efficiency. So if that sounds good to you, I'm Dr. Will from Miami Spine and Performance in Hollywood, Florida. I am one of the only, if not the only certified DNS trainer here in South Florida. I use DNS every day in my office, and I would love to help you move better with DNS. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any follow-up questions, please don't hesitate to drop a comment, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at Miami Spine and Performance. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.